You guys are going to want to stick around until the end of this video because we're not monkeying around today. What's up, Transformers fans? Mondo the Dad Optimus Prime here, and in today's Moonbase 84 transmission, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Cyberworld Cyberchanger Optimus Primal. So here we have the Cyberworld Optimus Primal in robot mode, but before we take a closer look at him, I feel I should add, because there are some people that might not know what Cyberworld is. Cyberworld is an exclusive, YouTube exclusive show on the Transformers official channel. Short little 5-minute episodes. And the Cyberworld figures, obviously, is the toy line that goes with them. And they are aimed like at quote-unquote kids. It's like the kids line, meaning as opposed to like the Studio Series or Age of the Primes, what's going on now, collector's lines. But they can be enjoyed by anybody, as can the show. And I happen to really enjoy these things more and more. I'm kind of getting deeper into them when it comes to what you can do with these guys. That being said, they are very basic, minimal articulation and stuff. But we're going to take a closer look at Primal here. He is, I believe, the newest figure out in the line. And we will take a closer look in his robot mode. And the thing I noticed about Primal is he has a ton of sculpted details. Really nice sculpt on this little figure. I mean, in the chest, especially in the arms and in the legs. There's some hits of blue paint. It's shiny, even without my camera lights. Of course, you got the Primal head sculpt. Really cool. The back, very flat. Not a lot of junk hanging off. So yeah, really nice sculpt on this guy. For those of you who are saying this is Optimus Primal, why are there tires on the back? We will get into that. But as I said, these are very small. Kind of like core class size, around there is the best way to describe them, but also very basic, meaning you don't get a lot of articulation. His arms can rotate, go up to like there. No elbow, which I say is the thing I wish they would really give these guys. For what they are, they don't need to be super articulated. That's not their point, but at least I wish they would give them elbows. His legs can do only a little bit of the splits. Does have the knee bend, and that's about it. But again, elbows would go a long way with these guys. This one transforms different than any of the ones that I have, so to me this is new. So what you want to do is, there's a little peg there, I don't know if you can see it, and a peg there. You just plug his feet together like so, and this is really cool. So what you do is just push on his head. The problem with me is my fingers are too fat, but you plug on his head, and you just see that. I'll do it again. I just think it's cool. On this one, his legs collapse when you do that, when you push on the head as well. So that, and then you just have to plug in the arms, which has the tab there. How come it, oh, he didn't go all the way in. That's okay. But they do tab in to like his knee section. And there you have Primal in truck mode. And yes, it is very strange that we have an Optimus Primal that doesn't turn into a gorilla, he turns into a truck. We will get to that in a minute, but first we'll take a closer look at this truck. It's some kind of big, well, supposed to small obviously, but representing like a big military type vehicle. And of course he maintains a lot of that sculpted detail. I forgot to mention too, I liked his little like gorilla type feet with I can't speak, with hits of silver. Should have went over that in robot mode, but he has the big tires, some nice sculpt work, some blue for the windscreen, a little winch on there, and some light sculpted in. Not tons of paint, but again, like I said, it's, you know, basic. At first I thought, what the hell, there's no roof on this guy. So that's kind of lame. But I think if you look here, the chest is supposed to mark like the sloping of the cab, I think, and this is supposed to be like, you know, a truck bed. So looking at it within that context, I like it a lot better than what I thought. I was like, they just made a big gappy thing. But yeah, then I noticed you do get some sculpt work in the back for lights and things, and he's not plugged in all the way. The thing is, on my surface at least, he doesn't roll very well, but that is truck mode, and I think it looks pretty cool for what it is. Now it's time for a little bit of a conspiracy theory of mine. Why is Optimus Primal a truck? Now, he hasn't appeared in the show yet, and we still don't know if he will. I suspect he will in season 2. But why a truck? To me, if you saw the images from Toy Fair of some of the Season 2 Cyberworld toys, you would notice they have a Cheetor, and he turns into, well, a white cheetah, I guess. But, so why would they have Cheetor turn into a cheetah, but Primal into this truck? My conspiracy theory is, what if this Primal is not the separate character like he usually is, but what if Optimus Prime upgrades or changes into Optimus Primal in Cyberworld? I mean, it's taking, you know, new takes on Transformers, you know, the Transformers brand and stuff, so I think that's possible that Primal might turn into Prime. That's a conspiracy of mine, going by why he is a truck and not a monkey. Now, how do the truck, not monkey fans feel about Primal being a truck? Comment to let me know if you are a truck, not monkey person. Me, I'm a why not both person. The more the merrier. But yeah, so I think that's my theory, because we also have like the Shockwave turning into a Spinosaurus and Soundwave into that like sea creature, and of course awesome Scourge pirate ship coming. But yeah, I think that is my little conspiracy theory. But in all honesty, the real reason why I think maybe they went with truck for Primal is because of his gorilla form. Now these, as you saw, are very basic figures, very basic transformations, but turning Primal into a gorilla is even more basic than this, and I think maybe they would have been like, well, that is even too basic even for this line, because you can kind of get a gorilla mode out of this guy, and I could see why they would think that. So just untab his arms, then what I do is I just pull down his feet, and there he is. But you can get a gorilla mode out of this, sort of. I was messing around with this guy earlier. Now, if you just flip his arms like this and bend his legs, spread them out. How did I have it? Can I do even more like this? Kind of like so. I just yelled in the camera. And if you pretended the top of the back of his head was kind of a flattened gorilla head, you could kind of have a gorilla. But like I said, if they went full-on gorilla, that might have been the transformation, and Hasbro might have said, well, that's even too basic for this line. So I'm thinking in all likelihood they wanted a Primal figure, but the gorilla mode would have been too basic, because even compared to other Transformers and other lines, Primal's transformation usually is pretty basic, because it's a humanoid type, you know, shape turning into a different shaped humanoid. Now here's the Cyberworld Optimus Primal with the authentic smaller scale Optimus Primal. And to me, if they wanted a Primal in the line, they could have just used this Authentics Primal, because for an Authentics, this is a really good Authentics. I mean, this is the best one I've ever messed with. I mean, he's a little hollow in the back. I did a review on him, but he's really good. He has weight. He doesn't feel cheap like a lot of the Authentics. This is a really good little Primal. They could have went this route, but maybe they felt that this transformation, even though it's very simple, is a little too complex for what they're aiming at for the Cyberworld line. So I don't know. But what I would say is I like the height on this guy. He is a little bit taller. And I do wish that maybe instead of having the overly done weapons on the figures that aren't the basic class that we get, scale down the accessories and make them a little bit taller so they scale a little better, because Bumblebee is as big as Prime, if not a bit wider. In Chop Shop especially, like Chop Shop's supposed to be little. I mean, you couldn't get his totally accurate show size, but if you made the $15 class like this tall, it'd make it look better, I think, and get Chop Shop. And I love this character. And here is the comparison of basic Optimus Prime compared to basic Optimus Primal. Again, what do you think of my conspiracy theory? Maybe. So I think overall Primal's a good little Cyberworld figure when you put him into the context of what he's supposed to be. And if you see him, you know, and you're into Cyberworld, he's a good pickup, I think. With that being said, comment to let me know what you think of my conspiracy theory. Am I crazy? And until next time, thanks for docking.